Mindset is everything while striving to survive the system collapse. In part 1, we discussed many different scenarios that can potentially collapse the system. We also touched on remaining spiritually sound in these times for guidance, strength, wisdom, and perseverance from the Most High. Leaning on Yah for overall protection is key. Staying prepared mentally will keep you and your household ready for the things to come. We will delve into positive mindsets that can change your perspectives on situations. We've been given the spirits of power, love, and a sound mind. Let's use them.
Light of Africa.
Guys, so if you haven't seen part 1 to surviving the system collapse, then definitely check it out.
I always say that, the Most High did not give us the spirit of fear. So to be fearful in these times, it's not necessary at all.
Yes.
That will hinder you from, doing what you're supposed to do. So just, get fear out of your mind. So we have to learn to do without.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah, all these things that we're attached to, we are programmed to be attached to certain things also. You know what I mean? We have to break free from these things and get back to our roots.
Get back to the basics.
Yeah.
Yes. Have your stove, have your AC, your fans, have your stuff for your comfort, but learn to do without them, right? Learn to be able to bear the heat. You have to tell yourself that you can do it. For the ladies, this one is very important. We have to learn to take showers in cold water. Because again, if we're going on a long journey, say we have to get somewhere to safety, you can't bring a heater with you. You can't bring anything for your comfort because it's going to weigh you down. So the best thing would be to do, condition your mind to shower in cold water so that if we pass a stream or if you pass a river, you know how to shower in there without complaining about the situation. You see? So it's very, very, very important to just work with what you have, work with what's happening around you. Look, I'm in this kind of situation. What am I going to do?
Yeah, we just need to identify your wants from needs. What do we need and what do we want?
Exactly.
We need to be mentally preparing to shed ourselves from the wants and focus more on what we need. I'm not saying not to have a stove, but learn to maybe cook outside, because you don't need a stove to prepare a dish. You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Right.
You don't, as you mentioned, the cold water. You don't need a heater, so practice to shower in cold water.
Yeah.
You know.
If you're in a climate that the weather is hot, I know you might still need your little warm water here or there if you're showering in the night, but just test yourself, right? Athletes, for example, they have to take cold showers because it's good for their muscles. So just pretend that you're in a situation where it's a must, you have to shower in cold water, and it will really help you. I mean, I had a problem with this going back home to Jamaica because I was so used to just gauging my water to where it was comforting for me, right? And being in the countrysides, if you know the countrysides in Jamaica, then you know that the temperature can get chilly sometimes. So I used to love warming up my water and stuff like that, but definitely I had to break free from that because again, you can be out there walking and you come across a stream. There's no time to warm up water because you have to keep going. Bathe in the stream.
Maybe you have to leave your pot. What will you warm up the water in?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Most likely you will have to leave your pot because
yeah, stuff like that.
Just practice. And if anybody knows about rivers and streams, you know that they're extremely cold.
Yeah, sometimes it's one, it have its time still.
It has its time when it's warm, but
yeah, but like especially in the sun hot.
Well, yeah, it's warmer, it's nicer.
Yeah, if the sun is hot, say 12, 1 o'clock and stuff, you can take a nice shower in the river or the stream. Depends on the location also and the exposure to sunlight.
Right.
Now, I feel like it's I know people are attached to warm water, right? I never had warm water when I was growing up, so I'm used to bathing in cold water.
Yes.
And there's nothing like taking a cold shower.
Try it out.
Yeah.
Take it from me, who was
Yeah.
attached to it.
Yeah,
Try
there's
it out.
nothing like taking a cold shower to me still. But
Yeah.
to each their own.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But it wouldn't be, hard, or it wouldn't be bad for you to, just practice to shower in cold water sometimes.
And you need to have your mental state right and ready. That's it. So all of these things that we've been conditioned and programmed to be able to help us out, because really and truly all of these things that's been created, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but we're approaching times right now where we have to really leave these things behind, because the Most High has us kind of going back to
nature.
nature.
And what we need to be relying on is nature, and not these man-made stuff and man-made products.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So we're gonna get into the next one, and it is just to expect the unexpected. Guys, this is a part of critical thinking. This is definitely a part of critical thinking, because there will be situations where you didn't plan on, or you didn't think it might have occurred when it occurred, or you literally just had no idea about it. What do you have to do? You have to just stop, pray, and then think. Allow the Most High to guide you and lead you into knowing what is it that you have to do in any kind of situation, whether big or small.
Yeah, facts. Also, even though you are preparing for a collapse or preparing for certain major events to happen, it could even be a hurricane. If there's a hurricane where you are, it can be a war. We see what's going on in the world right now. Any situation that come upon you, you may not know the time, the date when this thing will happen. So that's why it's important, to be prepared, and also to expect the unexpected. You don't know when it's going to happen. So if something happened tomorrow morning or tonight while you're sleeping, when you wake up, will you have time to prepare for that thing? No, you won't. So it's best to always be ahead of the game.
Right.
At all times.
Right.
Yeah.
And even being ahead, as what we're saying, even being ahead, things can still come up. You just have to use critical thinking. It's so important. Improvise. Work with the situation. Say, okay, I plan to go right, I now have to go left. Right?
Or you have to go straight forward.
Or that.
Yeah. If I U-turn,
Yeah, so these are definitely some of the things we have to do and incorporate within ourselves in order to comfortably, at least somewhat, be okay in these end times, because we're definitely in the end times, guys. We're like, please look around. Please, like, don't be distracted. Stop telling yourself this is not happening. It's happening. Please, guys. These things are here.
Yeah, right now the stage is being set for certain things and certain people to take seat and take their positions. But if you're not aware of certain things, then these things will fly over your head, and you'll just be out there like any other person saying, look how long Christ is supposed to come back. He's still not. And then you're there partying and having fun. Don't get caught up like that. Always be on God. Always.
Are you aware of these things? These are the end times, and the first thing is absolutely not. It was supposed to happen in 2000. Chuck, make we live the life, yeah, man.
Make we live a little bit. Live a little bit.
Live your life, but also prepare. Mentally prepare and look around and see what's happening, because it's not a joke. It's really not a joke. So after you get your mind right, you get your mental preparation, what you need to do?
Well, you need to get your kids on board with whatever you are doing. Get your kids right.
It's a must.
Right there with you. Get them right. I know some kids are young. They're hard. It's difficult to teach them, or they might be, not talking and stuff. That's fine.
Right.
But if your child reached a certain age that they can correspond, have a conversation, make sure you teach them about
Yes.
these times.
Right.
Let them know. Don't hide things from them and keep them in a bubble. Let them know what you are preparing for. Let your kids know the times that we're in, and how to prepare for it. Because if you're preparing for it, it's best to have the kids also preparing for the same thing. You don't want when certain thing, occur, you are doing one thing and then the child is over here doing another, and
Yes.
they're completely lost to what's going on.
Yes.
Teach your kids what's coming, please.
So the same thing, right? If you're getting yourself prepared to do without things, get your kids to understand as well to be able to do without things. Because if
Yeah.
you as a mom is able to do without, let me go back to the cold showers. If you as a parent is able to do without that, but your child is not, it will slow you guys down. Train your kids the same way you prepare yourself mentally. Mothers, you know your children, right? It doesn't matter how much you have. Like if you have a household with multiple different children, then you know their personalities, right? If you have one child, you know how to speak to that child. Ask the Most High for help and guidance. Guide your tongue and explain to your children how things are. Ask the Most High to help you explain to your children how things are, and ask the Most High to also allow the child to be able to understand, because sometimes kids, they're very smart, they're very wise. If you just sit down and talk to them on the level that you believe that they're capable of, because again, you know your children, then it shouldn't be a problem to get your kids mentally prepared for things ahead.
That's true. And sometimes, believe it or not, sometimes your child will keep you in check. Because if you might slip up and say something, or you might not, thinking straight at one day, you might say something, they will correct you.
Absolutely.
Remember that.
Absolutely.
Your child will correct you. So it's very important.
And the Most High has an amazing way to send us messages, even sometimes through our children. So you'd be surprised sometimes our kids, as what you're saying, say some things. It's the Father. Or don't think that they're unable to
Understand.
understand. Yes. So the next thing is teach your children self-control. Self-control is very important. Remember, they are young, right? Sometimes they act out, sometimes they do things to try get their way. You have to teach them the importance of time and place. There's a time for every single thing. So when it's time to move, it's time to move. When it's time to be quiet and listen, it's time to be quiet and listen. When it's time to have fun, it's time to have fun. So definitely in the end times, when things are shaky, when things are going left, right, teach your kids to stay centered and focused. Yes, it's so important.
Yeah, so if you're at war, right? If there's war happening, especially if you're in the cities, as you said, these kids nowadays, they're very, very smart. However, they're growing up in the age of technology, and they are highly, highly, highly distracted.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? By these technology. I know it may be difficult to get these kids up to the speed that you want them to be on. It may be very difficult for you, but as you said again, you have to turn to the Father, turn to the Most High, pray about it. Don't give up. Don't give up on them at all. Do not give up on them, because check it, if there's a war happening, especially if you're in the city and you have to get out like right now, you see what's happening, you see bomb dropping or looting or stuff like that, you need to go, and you are there packing or which you should have a get out bag, but
we'll
you
get
are
into
there,
that in the next video.
yeah. But you are there packing and getting stuff to go, and your child is over there playing the video game, and no matter how you tell them to stop and come, this is serious, they're in their own world, you know what I mean? So
and they start to whine, they start to cry,
and
they might even panic out because they
they're
weren't
unaware.
even aware.
They're unaware. So teach your kids, you don't have to take the video game, but
limit the time that they
just
have,
let them know,
they spend on it too.
just let them know that this is the situation. Once you say this is the situation, they will drop the game and
Right.
ready, because guess what? You taught them
Right.
to do without the game. Yes, you can have fun, you can play game all you want. Not all
Yes.
you want, you should limit them. However, game time is game time. But if something is happening that we need to go, you have been practicing for this thing for so long, it's time to go. They will drop the game and go. But if you don't teach them, come on, you will have a very difficult time.
Yes. Plus, it's kind of like you're kind of setting it up for the kids to be, because it's difficult. Just put yourself in the child's position, and they're not used to certain things. They're not used to having to do certain things. So I always believe in fun learning, right? So
It's
let
true.
things be fun. Like, it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom and so serious, because there are kids. You can keep the doom and gloom knowledge for between yourselves as adults, but
Yeah.
have fun activities, like explore things. They love using their imaginations, they love exploring. Think about certain situations, talk to them, like the same way we would have exercises in school, right? We would have fire drills and stuff like that. Those are good ways you can practice safety within your household. Yes.
Yeah, and also, I know we touch on the kids, but you may have a brother or a sister or an auntie who is also highly distracted by this technology, highly distracted by, partying every weekend, highly distracted by, social media and stuff like that. Try to
or
get them
just
on board.
or just trying to make money. There are so
Yeah,
many
yeah, yeah.
distractions
So
that
many distractions.
it's hard to even list out, because
Yeah.
almost everything nowadays, guys, is just like a distraction. Not to say you don't need money or you need to have fun. We want you guys to really understand these things that we're saying.
Yeah.
But again, it boils down to time and place for everything. When it's time to be serious, it's time to be serious.
Try to get your household on board. Everybody. Try to get everybody on board. You won't be able to save everybody, for sure. Some will get left behind. However, just try. See what I'm
Right.
saying? Try.
Yes, and because I love how you put that, because evidently everyone has to make the decision for themselves. It boils down to that, right? The Father gave us free will, so we can't force anyone to do anything, or you can't force people to see something either. You just have to pray for them and continue to talk to them, and don't give up on them. We have to just continue to show love and pray for people.
Each one teach one too. So,
Yes.
you may learn something from them. They may learn
Absolutely.
something from you, even if they're not on what you're on.
Mhm.
Just by observing their ways and their way of being.
Yes.
Teach you something, you say, "Oh, I'm not going to be like that."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
So
even certain things that, like, for example, like my grandma, like I have to big up my grandma. I do have to big up my grandma because I've learned so much survival tactics and just ways of just, working with situations and just being good no matter what, and being happy and being thankful. It really shaped me into the woman that I am today. Yeah.
give thanks to the grandmother, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, again, these are just some things we put together to help you mentally prepare for the times ahead.
Yeah, and these things keep us in check too. Having to do these videos, it
Absolutely.
make our brain think. You see me? It keep us thinking, and certain things that we may miss. No, we kind of garner certain information, and it keep us on track too.
Keeps us going.
So we give thanks for this video. We give thanks to you guys. And yeah,
Yes,
enough
absolutely.
love. Yeah.
Okay guys, so we decided to break this video down in a part 3, right? So in the part 3 video, look out for it, we're gonna get into the physical, because we didn't want the video to be too long and too drawn out, because we know that attention span is different.
Short.
Attention span is different nowadays, so definitely look out for part 3.
Yeah, part 3, as you said, part 3 is gonna be the physical preparation, which is very vital for the body and the soul. So
Extremely.
yeah, so look out for that. Okay, so until next time, peace, one love.